The following podcast is presented by Hormone Logics. Discover your ageless health.
And now, part 2 of the Ascension Mentality Podcast.
All right, so we took a little break. We're here with Kitty Cabo. This is Amy Wilhelmy with the Ascension Mentality Podcast.
Am I supposed to say something now?
No. We were just talking about bikinis. And we kind of left off. She was talking about, some of the materials and stuff.
She was talking about this enormous woman that she just snapped her fingers and knew how big the... Is it polite to say enormous? I mean, she's 300 pounds.
Probably not very polite.
Okay, that's not polite. I think in relative context, though, Kitty, like if you're making bikinis for models that are getting on stage that are probably like a size 0, and then you have a woman walk in who's size 3, she's 300 pounds, like there's a huge difference there. So you're able to just know exactly how big that bikini needs to be. That's amazing.
I think what's amazing is that it fit, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, okay, so my question was, obviously you make them custom for people, right? But what I'm confused about is that, I've filled out this form for Kitty and it asks your measurements and whatever, but then they're made before you go to peak week. They're made before this stage, and somehow it magically fits on the stage.
Magic.
So like, how does that even work?
She sprinkles fairy dust on it.
Because you're at it, your body composition is literally different, months before when you're submitting this form to when you get on the stage. So how do you know like what their stage lean, like how are you guessing that?
So when we start, a lot of times, I think even with you, or maybe a lot of times, like we'll start the process. A lot of people will contact me sometimes 10 weeks out. I like to start the process a little bit closer so I can get very close to, the stage measurements.
Yeah.
But we like to start the process 8 weeks out. But how it works is that they put the measurements in, a front and back photo. If you're changing measurements, if you're dropping pounds like pretty fast, which I'm ex-bodybuilder, and I know how fast it can be the last 4 weeks. Right. And that's why I choose to do it 8 weeks out, because you're a little bit closer and you might be slowing down. So a lot of my pro athletes usually start around like 8 weeks out. They're like, okay, I start prep and they're 8 weeks out, because most of the time bodies
they don't
are
need
pretty
to.
much ready.
Right.
Yeah, they don't need to. Yeah, they're going to stay around the same. But having it that close is a good guessing game for me, because you're not going to drop like crazy. You're not going to drop 20 pounds in 8 weeks. Not like not if your body's already ready. Can you see somebody's trying to call me right now? But so how it works, I get the measurements, front and back photos. 8 weeks out, I'll have before, so I think about like, I want to say 5 or 6 weeks out, because that's when I contact everybody. Okay, if you're ready for your fitting suit, we'll send a fitting suit out to those measurements, and I always take it in a little bit. The hip connectors, I make them adjustable when it comes just the strap to be a little bit longer.
See, there's like a little bit more fabric right there, and you can you can potentially have someone that sews really well take it out for you, right? If you're not available, if you can't do it. Yeah.
It's just a straight stitch. So that can be adjusted to measurements. And so on the top of my form, it has type of show. So if it's a natural show or WBSF or MPC or OBC, whatever, right? Usually like when it comes to MPC people, they're pretty,
they get really lean. Yeah.
So, and then the natural shows is, okay, I have an idea if it's going to be a transformation or, somebody who's a little bit thicker. But sometimes I can't say that, like, even the natural shows, the girls are not coming in super lean, because there are some really amazing girls that come in and they are just 100% natural, and they're beat, so it can't, you can't just say, oh, well, natural or MCC, because all athletes are amazing. I work with everybody, but so the type of material that I use is a beach material that you could use as a beach bikini, or you could, use for stage. The lining that I choose is a cotton lining. It's a cotton 4-way stretch. And the reason why I chose it is because you are sweating all day. I even put it in the men's bodybuilding trunks too on the inside, just because you have a little bit of comfort. I don't know about you, but for me, I like my underwear to be very soft, and I like cotton.
It is very soft on the inside.
Yeah. Because if you have a beach material like lining, I don't
it's
know
not as
if
comfortable. Yeah.
It's not right, and you sweat and you slide. You're like,
yeah.
So if you're not 100% dry, which, like, I don't know where you go swimming at, but at the end of the day, you're like sweating, and the bathing suit is not sucking up that sweat, and you're just kind of like, you need to get in the water, or you're done for the day, right?
Right. And then with the tan, like, the whole point of the whole day is like, don't touch it, because I don't want to mess it up, right? So you really don't want to be like adjusting it and moving it around very much. So you don't want to be taking it on and off, because you're going to screw up your tan. So it's nice if it is softer on the inside, so then it's not as uncomfortable, because in the bodybuilding competition, sometimes you're standing around for hours waiting for your number to be called, waiting for your group to go on the stage. And so comfort is important, because the connectors and everything, and hiking the boobs up and whatever, like, it's not a very comfortable experience. So I like that you're like trying to make it as comfortable as possible.
Yeah.
So, Kitty, when you're delivering these bikinis to people or sending them to them, does it come with like washing instructions, or how do you take care of it? Like, I would assume you're not just going to like stick it in with the towels on regular.
Yeah, so they do have a care instructions that come with it. Either they're emailed or they're in the box. A lot of times when I do put them in the box, they kind of get tossed aside, and the girls are like, "Oh, how do I clean this?"
Yeah. Well, like, it's an investment, and it's very beautiful. You don't want to ruin the stone. So I was kind of joking, but like, seriously though, how do you clean it?
Yeah, so it is an investment, for sure. And I remind everybody. And when you do get a custom from me, you get the care instructions, for sure, like, over and over. So what I do is I get laundry detergent, like a soft laundry detergent, and fill up the water with cold water, hand wash it, rinse it. And you should never soak these bikinis. I mean, you can, the type of glue that I use is a water resistant glue, but I would say don't ever soak them. There's no need to. The type of tan that they use these days is it's pretty easy to wash out. Like, I think it's like a water-based tannin solution. So it washes out pretty easy. Like, literally, you could just rinse it out. Like, I know Protan, their solution that they use never stains my bikinis. It washes right out. But so I will wash it with that. So I also use like a peroxide and Dawn dish soap mix that I mix myself, and I spray. If it's a rental, I spray it in the areas, because peroxide gets out stains, and it has not messed up any of the dyes of fabrics that I've ever used, even on white fabrics or black fabrics. I know that peroxide will change your hair color, right? But it doesn't change the color of the fabric. So that is one thing that I do. I don't know if everybody does that, but
that sounds like another like revenue stream for you. Just selling the spray bottles of your own proprietary solution. You don't have to tell people it's shit they can buy at the store. I mean, it's Kitty's magic solution.
Okay, here we go. Matt's going to build some more business plans.
I'm going to build a business with
air.
you, Kitty. Well, no, like Kitty, you're one of the hardest working entrepreneurs I've ever met. So, if you stick a care bottle in there, I don't know how much it would cost you to put together, but probably not much if it's just peroxide and dish soap.
No.
So this kind of, the whole idea though, I used to work at Best Buy a long, long time ago when I was in high school. And they had these monster screen cleaner bottles. I'm sure you don't know what I'm talking about, but just if you remember Best Buy, they were the ones that kind of first started selling the big screen TVs that were like thousands and thousands of dollars. And everybody wanted to know, how do you clean it? And they just thought you'd use Windex. And you do not use Windex on TVs. Do not. It would ruin it. And so as the salespeople, we would tell people, don't put Windex on your TV. They would do it anyway. And so then they'd come back and like, well, I didn't listen, but what am I supposed to use on the TV screen? So we'd sell these bottles of monster screen cleaner for $80.
Whoa.
$80. Do you know what it is? It's just distilled water. It's just distilled water. Literally distilled water, and then they put Monster on it. So they sold it for $80. So my point is, it sounds like you could put a little care bottle in your package, give somebody the first one for free, it cost you $1 or $2 to make, maybe not even that much, and then you sell them for $10. I'd rather spend $10 to get.
This is a whole nother episode.
Okay, this is another episode.
Okay, we're done. We're gonna hear more about her story, not Matt's business ideas about her business.
I got excited.
I got to hire a whole team to just make soapy water.
Well, if it's making you a shit ton of money, I don't think you'd have a problem finding a team, but we'll come back to that on the next episode.
Yeah. So, Kitty, I'm curious, like most entrepreneurs, like there's something that like drives them. There's some sort of like fuel for this passion. Like, what do you feel like your fuel is? Obviously, like you're very personable, but I'd love you to tell me or us, our audience, why are you continuing to do this? Why do you love it so much?
So I'm a people person, and I love giving. And sometimes I give a little bit too much in my business. I have to remember, wait, this is a business. I'm giving, I'll give like more when the girls have a budget. I'll put more stones on it just because I want everybody to be beautiful. I love making people look beautiful, and my drive is my family. To be able to, my husband has an amazing job, and before I started this business, I always told him, I said, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to give you babies, and I'm going to find something that I'm going to work from home, and I'm going to match you on what you're making.
That's awesome.
Good for you.
Okay,
You're like, I don't know what it is, but.
Yeah, I said, I don't ever want to be that wife that is just, having babies and just wait for my husband to get home. Like, no, I want to buy you a car. I want to do this. I want to do that. Because I'm a giver, and I love to make people happy. And so that's just something that keeps me going. When I get girls that get their bikinis and they call me crying, like, this is amazing. I can't believe you did this.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I want. That keeps me going. And knowing also that I can provide for my family, and do amazing things from working from home.
Yeah.
So that keeps me going.
It must be fun seeing all of your work like on the stage. I'm sure, everybody shares their photos with you, and, show day is so fun because you're just, you work so hard and then you get on there and you're like, this is the fun day, right? Like, I'm just going to get up here and like show, get glammed and tanned and show off all this stuff. And you get to kind of just see like the radiancy of these athletes, which must be very rewarding for you.
Yes, it is. And I live through you guys. When I see that you guys are winning and, just feeling amazing and looking beautiful on stage, I'm like, I did that. Like, that's like we won. I do hope to get back on stage eventually one day in my life because I really love the stage.
Yeah.
My coach time was Steve and Casey from Flawless Physique back then. And I could remember them saying, are you sure you never did this before? Like, we would have all the girls in the back, and it was my first show. This was the Hurricane Classic out in Tampa. And they're getting everybody ready, and I'm putting on my eyelashes, and they're like, "Are you sure you never did this before?" And I'm like, No. They're like, "You're so calm." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. I'm just so happy." I don't care if I win. I'm here. You know, I already won.
Yeah.
And I would tell the girls that are so nervous, like, I don't know if I'm going to do good. I don't, you know, like, I started my period today. I'm holding water.
Yeah.
All these stresses are up. And I always tell everybody, you've already won.
Right.
You've already won. You beat the person you were the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the fun day. Chill. You know, this is the day to get glammed and tammed and get up there and do the thing. I mean, that's how I feel about it. Every single time I'm like, well, I did better than before. So that's the only, you know, whatever. That's why I'm here. I'm here because I'm working towards something for a long time, and you get up and that's the day to celebrate, right? Celebrate.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was still, all the women that I work with, I feel like it's almost as close as a wedding day.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh man.
I still like that, like your first show.
A lot less.
He's laughing.
He's like,
But no, a lot of them, because, you know, like, same thing with picking a wedding dress. Like, it's important. Like, that is your day, you know, so everything has to be perfect. The same thing with, you know, these girls stepping on stage. Everything has to be perfect from head to toe. And when they contact me, don't worry about it. I have jewelry. Don't worry about it. I'll help you pick the colors. And usually I have to say, and I'm not, you know, like, putting myself like way up here, but a lot of my people do really well.
Yeah.
They do really
well. I'm sure that your confidence you're a confidence booster, right? You're like the hype squad extraordinaire, because not only are you like actually like hyping them up, but then you're dressing them to make them feel amazing, which is super cool.
So Kitty, when you're talking to maybe a first time bodybuilding woman, and she's interested in your bikinis, do you give them any sort of like confidence that they're not going to have any wardrobe issues? Like
yeah.
Okay. How does that work?
So I always tell them, well, for one, they do, you know, I remind them like, hey, you get to try the suit on before it's sewn. So you're guaranteed a perfect fit. And if you're not happy with the fit, I will keep sending it out, and I will pay for that shipping, because I'm like, I know it's going to fit. Until you're happy, the coach is happy, everybody's happy, including myself, because we do a video chat, or, you know, photos to make sure everything's fitting correctly, because I have girls that say, "Oh, my top, you didn't put connectors on. Send me a video." Well, the top is upside down. But it's the right way.
Oh,
I've even
cute.
had on backwards, you know, guys like, "Oh, you know, my everything is being really like tough, like it's squeezing me," and I'm like,
that's the booty part.
You know, yeah, you have backwards.
That's so funny.
Hey, Amy, we have a great sponsor on board, Hormone Logics.
Yeah, they're actually my hormone doctors, so I think they're pretty awesome. They do hormone replacement therapies to revive energy and strength so that you can continue to feel younger longer. They do bioidentical hormones, menopause therapy, andropause therapy.
They help men with things like ED, low T, sleep regulation.
They help you to have a more satisfying sex life, improved mood, improved cognition, healthier skin, bones, and hair.
How does somebody get in touch with Hormone Logics?
You can visit their website at www.hormonelogics.com. Stop missing out on living your best life and be the best version of yourself. I love that. But I mean, yeah, it's like, again, like it's just such a passion-driven thing for you. You're like, I'll just give it back to me and I'll ship it back, and we'll just make sure that you feel extremely confident on the stage, right?
Yeah.
So you just said like someday I want to step back on myself. That's cool to have that goal. Like, tell us about some other goals that you might have for your business. I mean, you don't have to share the big one that you're like, I'm not sure I'm ready to share that yet, but like, could you give us like a little bit of a sneak peek of where you want Kittys Bikinis to be someday, or a direction that you want it to go?
I like where I am now, right? My only thing is that I want to have a passionate team behind me. You know, so that is so important. I really would love to have a huge team that everybody is just as passionate as I am, you know, and like, it's hard.
The entrepreneur's
really
dilemma. Oh my gosh, Matt and I could have a whole week of talking about this subject. It's so hard to replicate yourself, right? Like because no one else is actually, no matter who you hire, is going to care about your business as much as you do. Because for you, it's such a heart-centered project. I mean, Matt and I have employees, and we've had employees, and some of them don't work out because we just know that the drive's just not there. And it's really hard, I think, as a business owner to just give up that control. Because you just said, I've heard you say on this podcast, like, that I like them to be perfect, right? And so I think a lot of us are also perfectionists. And so that piece in itself is very difficult too, right?
Yes. I have to, and my husband he has to remind me that it's not always going to be the way that you want it. Like, let it go to be somebody else's way, as long as it turns out to be, you know, what you wanted it to be. It can't be always your way, right?
But it's hard when your name's on it and you're hoping that your customers are happy.
Yeah. So I am so, and I tell my husband this. I'm like, listen, Kittys Bikinis has made it because of the quality, and you know what I like. I check these suits. And my husband helped me, actually. He sews.
Aw. You're like sitting there like watching Netflix, like, okay, here's another one.
Yeah. It's been our time, which I really have to change. But it was like for years when I started this business, I got so obsessed of being perfect and making sure everybody's taken care of, that my family would walk in, hey, are we going to eat dinner? And I'm like, yeah, just bring me a plate. And like, wait, we don't have anything to eat. You didn't cook it. Oh man, we're out of hot food.
I think we all do that. Yeah.
So Kitty, I wanted to find out, like, you put so much intentionality into these bathing suits, the bikinis. You they're like your baby, right? Mm-hmm. Is there ever going to be a point, you think, in your business's future where you have a machine, or these are built overseas, or is it always going to be your time and your energy and your focus each bikini?
So for these types of suits, I don't plan to ever send anything overseas to be done. And that's just, I think if once I get to that level, I think the quality will start to decline. I don't know how I can get past that in my mind, but I just, out of experience of seeing other people's suits that have, went that route, it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same. But I would send other things, just not the competition suits.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I heard you say that you would love to have a team behind you. What do you imagine the team would do? Like managing your marketing, helping actually stone suits, helping the sewing process, all of the above. Like what does your ideal team do? All of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All of it. Yeah.
So no overseas suits for Kitty's future.
Okay. I heard it. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
I don't know if that is like a control thing. I just feel like my name, we're 100% custom, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like, how can it be custom if it's made overseas?
Right. And I mean, like you just said, like for, I've tried on, I'm kind of new to this sport, but even your cuts, I feel like are very unique. Right. And you said you're kind of like always adjusting these things.
That one got smaller, by the way, for you this time.
Woohoo! Got smaller.
Oh boy. How could it get smaller?
Because she looked at my glutes and she was like, oh, I'm adjusting that. Right? Yeah. I mean, that's how it works. Yeah. So like my last suit that I got, like I tried on, I remember I tried it on for her and she was like, well, that fits your boobs perfectly. Like, not to be brash, but I was like, yeah, it does, surprisingly, but it's amazing that you have this like gift that you are actually able to share that and do that for people. It's pretty cool. So I think go ahead.
I will say I am nervous with every suit that goes out, even though it's like a roller coaster, right? This is a high stress job, because everybody is dependent, like we talked. These athletes only have their body in the suit. That's it. So the suit is like, at the end of the day, the suit is like 50% of your winnings, because if you have a suit that is shaped wrong, and the cut is wrong, it's either going to make you or break you, right? So like you can have a suit that will make your glute look flat, and depending, like how you hike it up, but you can pose and it's still not going to help you. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that I do study. Like, I watch multiple shows, I go to shows, and I am studying how like the athletes are posing and what I could do better to, there are some girls that just can't grow their glutes like they want to. And so that cut helps.
Yeah. I wish my glutes would grow better.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I want to say it's
that like sweetheart. It's like almost like a heart shape. Makes your booty look more round than it actually is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's amazing. I think we're about to wrap up. So do you have any like final questions for Kitty and Kittys Bikinis? Well, we want to tell our audience, first of all, like how to reach you. Like you said, Instagram. Can you just state like what the Instagram tag is? What's your name on Instagram?
Yeah, so it's Kittys_Bikinis, or you can find me at www.kittysbikinis.com or at gmail.com. So either one.
Or email her. She's very, very responsive, which is what I love about that too. Do you have any more final thoughts?
Thanks for coming on our show, Kitty. This was really exciting. We have to have you on again, and we'll show some pictures. I think that would be a lot more fun too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Thanks for joining us today. We will talk again soon.
Yes. Thank you.
This is Amy Wilhelmy. I'm the owner of Balance Wellness Collective. It's a holistic and integrative mental health practice located in St. Charles, Illinois, and telehealth, all of Illinois. We see individuals, adults, families, children, and adolescents. We are primarily family focused and also do divorce mediation. It is a mind, body, and spirit approach to care. You can find us at www.balancewellnesscollective.com. Yeah. We just met with Kitty Cabo of Kittys Bikinis, and that was amazing. We kind of showed her work and talked about her thing, and
she's tons of fun.
She is such a ball of energy. I want to like soak it up and take some of that. I mean, that's probably how she gets all that stoning done. She just is like a rabbit. She's just so fun. I like want to like hang out with her. So anyway, yeah, you kind of got off on that little tangent there, and got so excited about like a cleaning spray, and I had to be like, okay,
you're gonna spend almost $1,000 on a bikini. You should have a way to clean it.
Oh, I totally agree. I would be terrified.
It's like a no-brainer business idea.
I haven't cleaned one yet. I just kind of like send it back, like. But anyway, she was really great, and she's excited about maybe being a sponsee of the podcast, so that's great, and hopefully we have a long and continued relationship with Kitty. Any other final thoughts about that?
I just think that she's really hardworking. She's got the same problem that a lot of entrepreneurs have. She can't find time to work on her business because she's too busy working in the business.
Right.
But I have a feeling that she'll turn the corner soon. And
we'll get her out of it a little bit.
She's going to do even bigger and better things.
Yeah. I mean, I just can't wait for that thing to blow up. I mean, again, I have one in front of me, and it's like my baby. It's they're perfect. So it's pretty fun. Thank you for joining us on the Ascension Mentality Podcast. This is Amy Wilhelmy.
And I'm Matt Wilhelmy. Thank you so much for joining us. Have you ever been stuck in life? Have I got a book for you? Ascension Mentality, written by Amy Wilhelmy, public speaker, athlete, and licensed therapist. In her book, Amy takes us through a raw and vulnerable journey as she unravels from childhood trauma and navigates her career, marriage, and parenthood. She takes us on a deep dive into her life and how when emotions are left unprocessed, they seep into adulthood as she tries to navigate the task of growing up. You cannot change what you did. You cannot change what has happened to you. But you can change how you feel about it. You can let go of what is holding you back. When you process and unwind trauma, you don't lose what made you strong. You only lose what no longer serves you. To ultimately be a better human, friend, parent, partner, coworker, daughter or son, and leader. It's time to let go. Ascension Mentality.
This has been an Ascension Mentality podcast. Hit subscribe for all the latest episodes. For more information, visit ascensionmentality.com. Ascension Mentality, making mental gains.